Yo, welcome back, guys, for the record. It's the 6th edition of this year. I'm your co-host, Jake Subcheck.
I'm the other co-host, Ethan Busso.
And Ethan, not a lot happened, honestly, this weekend.
For
sports-wise, of course.
Yeah. Nebraska game.
Oh, yeah.
Was absolutely terrible.
Didn't we literally talk about this last podcast? And I was almost correct on the prediction. Pretty close.
I think we knew that they weren't going to win the game. But I don't know. I just expected at least a competition.
The final score was 48-7. Does this mean that Ohio State is really that dominant, or do you think it means Nebraska is really just not that good?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think we realized that it's going to take longer than we expected for this Nebraska team to turn around. But I think we need to start talking about Ohio State as the best team in the country. Them and Alabama 1 and 2.
And I remember vaguely, I said on the very first podcast that Ohio State would be competing for the national championship this year.
I don't see a team beating them this year. They play Wisconsin and Michigan, but I believe both games are at home.
Now, what if I told you I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now? Michigan will beat Ohio State this year. What if I tell you this bold prediction? Because Michigan is sitting here. Jim Harbaugh still hasn't beaten Ohio State. What if he makes his, and Michigan's not having a great season. What if they win this year?
Michigan can still turn things around. They've got to, but that would require them to win out. They need to beat Ohio State. They've got Ohio State at home, but you already lost to Wisconsin. But at least it was Wisconsin. You got that excuse that our one loss is to Wisconsin right now. That would require wins against Iowa, Penn State, Notre Dame, Michigan State, and Ohio State.
What will happen if Michigan beats Ohio State? Ohio State will still probably be in the Big Ten championship, most likely.
So you're talking about if Michigan wins out?
So what would happen was, what if Ohio State beats Wisconsin, Michigan beats Ohio State, and now we have chaos?
I think Michigan's in the playoff because your one loss is
Notre Dame's going to beat Michigan.
Well, that's what you're saying if they were to win out.
I'm talking about Big Ten play. Big Ten play.
Then I think you're out of. No Big Ten team's going to make the playoff if that happens.
Would be.
I think as a fan of the Big Ten in general, you want Ohio State to win out.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely do.
Because we haven't had a Big Ten team represent in the playoff
since Michigan State.
Exactly,
and they got embarrassed.
So you need Ohio State to win out, which I think is likely because this is a very good Ohio State team.
Yeah,
especially on the defense.
Yeah, they are. Justin Fields. Still playing flawless. Mm-hmm. Chase Young is an absolute animal. Remember we talked about that.
Chase Young he's
a scary looking dude.
Arguably the best defensive player in college football right now.
Oh yeah.
But I just think that showed a lot about Ohio State and Nebraska both. Is that just Nebraska's just not ready yet to compete with the teams like that. I think again it's got to do with the talent level though. I think they don't have it right now. I think it's going to come in the future, but for right now they've just got to worry about these next 4 games. So,
all right, yeah. So, another ranked game that happened over the weekend was Notre Dame versus Virginia. Notre Dame pulled out by 15 to win the game. As a Notre Dame fan, I was watching that game. Very worrisome when Notre Dame went trailing in a half. Mm-hmm. First time they've been trailing this year so far because they were beating Georgia at halftime. Mm-hmm. So that was a little worrisome, but their defense had 8 sacks, which was a record for how many sacks in a game for Notre Dame. So that was really good for them, but their offense looked really slow, so that was bad.
I don't know. Virginia, they looked good in the first half at least against Notre Dame.
Yeah, they did.
That was their only ranked opponent that they're going to play this year. So I definitely think Virginia should win out on their schedule.
It'll make Notre Dame look good. It's a good win for Notre Dame.
Is. It's still. Any ranked opponent is still a good win. So.
Yeah, and then really besides that. Clemson looked very shaky against North Carolina.
They should have lost that game. That was the last play was horrible, and I think this slump that they're starting to go through is on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. I don't know why he's going through such a bad sophomore slump.
He's got 5 interceptions, and some of them you're looking at him and you're like, where is he trying to throw? But he needs to step up his game if they want to repeat.
Yeah, he has one of the best receiving cores in the country, and he's not playing well at all. Mm-hmm. And I don't really understand that. Yeah, so that's why Clemson moves down. Alabama moves up. Ohio State goes into the top 4 for the first time this year. And I seriously I don't know what's going to happen. I think Clemson will drop a game soon. I think Clemson will lose a game pretty soon.
And I think if you're Clemson, you cannot afford to drop a game the rest of the season, because I think if they lose any game, they're out of the playoff.
Oh, 100%, because the ACC is such a
Because
weak
none
conference.
of their rest of their games are going to be.
Do they even have a ranked
impressive.
opponent?
Wake Forest just got ranked
Oh, did they?
for the first
Okay.
time, but I don't see them staying ranked.
No, I don't
Because
think
that's
they
6 weeks away. So.
will. Yeah. So, and besides that, Washington beat USC. That's a big Pac-12 win for Washington right there. That's proven them, Washington and Utah are the two teams in the Pac-12, but neither of them are making the playoffs now.
No,
So
not
Pac-12
after.
is eliminated from the playoffs once again. Maybe Oregon? Do you think Oregon still has a chance?
I mean, if Oregon, let's say they went out,
They need Auburn to play well.
Auburn again has a big game this weekend, but I don't know. I don't see a Pac-12 team being in the playoff.
Yeah, Utah dominated Washington State. That was embarrassing for Washington State. Mike Leach, did you see Mike Leach's press conference afterwards?
I did not.
He was basically talking about how his players they're soft and how they're pampered, and he was very upset with how the team played. So I expect to see Washington State win the next couple of games. Mike Leach was upset.
Looking forward to this weekend though. We got a couple good games. Who you taking? Auburn, Florida.
I gotta say, I'm gonna take Auburn. I hate both teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think both teams are very overrated, but I'm going to take Auburn because their defense is pretty good, actually. And, Bo Nixon is improving every week. And I think Florida, without Joe Burrow, I don't think they can do much offensively.
I'm definitely going to take Auburn. Florida, again, hasn't showed me much this year. So
Almost losing to Miami in the game opener, week 0, technically. But I just don't think Florida's that good.
Iowa, Michigan.
I'm gonna take Iowa. Sorry, Michigan. I want Michigan to win as a Notre Dame fan, but I just don't think they will.
I don't know. I think Michigan needs this win big time. It's at home. They're favored by 4.5. I think it's just a huge win that can put Michigan back on track if they win this game.
Oh, they definitely need it. And as a Notre Dame fan, I want them to win. I just honestly, I really don't. Iowa's rolling right now. They're 4-0. Michigan. They beat Rutgers. Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what
they need a win to turn them around.
They really
I
do.
think they're gonna get it this weekend, but Ohio State, Michigan State.
That's such a good game, honestly.
I mean, just because
Michigan State,
defensively,
their
Michigan
defense.
State's a good team.
Oh my goodness.
But
No,
I
their
think-
defense is overall ranked number 1 in the country right now.
Yeah.
Ohio State's offense, though.
I know. I think if Ohio State blows them out, I think you got to think about jumping Ohio State up to number 2, maybe even number 1, because this team is very good.
Yeah, and then Texas, West Virginia.
I think Texas is in trouble here they're in danger of an upset right now because they got to go to West Virginia. I think it's going to be a good one, but I don't know. West Virginia's going to have to play some of their best.
Yeah, they're going to have to
Football if
play
they wanna
on
win this
another
game.
level if they want to compete with Texas. Because Texas, they're still, they might have a loss. I think they're still rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it was to LSU. The loss was to LSU.
And it was a close game. And I personally believe that Texas will go on to win the Big 12. I think they'll beat Oklahoma.
I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts is. I don't see with Jalen Hurts under center. I don't see them losing a game on the
Same
schedule.
thing with Kyler Murray, and Sam Ellinger walked in and they beat Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Well, we've also got Cal versus Oregon this weekend. What do you think on that?
You know what, Oregon. Cal, still a solid team. I think it'll be a good game, but I still think Cal will pull out in front.
I don't know. I'm taking Oregon to win it. I think Oregon's still a good team. I mean, they're one loss to Auburn, and Auburn looks good. And if Auburn wins this weekend, it'll make Oregon look even better. But I don't know. I don't see Cal winning the game.
Yeah, no. Well, it'll be a good game.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think it'll be a good one.
All right, so then that's it for college football this week. So NFL wise, tell me, Ethan, what happened with that the player got suspended for the season?
Vontaze Burfict, there's no excuse for that. You can't just hit a player just that obviously head on, and especially it being a guy who's done it, multiple times
Yeah.
in his past, and that's definitely why they suspend him for the rest of the year.
I mean,
but that's-
NFL's biggest priority is head contact
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
It's
It's
just
turning the game. I mean, in my opinion, I think they're going overboard, but this was
that,
unacceptable.
that's bad. That I mean,
I think all these rules about the defensive ends and they're hitting the quarterback is bad. But I mean, yeah, this was bad. This was on another level. Of
there's
bad.
just no need for that.
Yeah.
I mean, no excuse to that. I agree with the suspension. It's
Oh,
horrible.
I
It's-
agree as
it's-
well.
it's- You can't do something like that.
But on the other hand, did you hear about the NCAA allowing California is allowing college players to make money off their names now, starting 2023?
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with it, but it's gonna be an issue for a little bit when how the NCAA reacts to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I personally agree with it, honestly.
I mean, I just think like the only thing it's going to be. I feel like is just jerseys. I think if you're one of the best players on that team and you can sell that jersey, then why not get paid for it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like a lot of these people though, they don't want to stop at just like getting like name compensated. I think they want literal colleges to pay people because at some point
That I don't want.
yeah,
That-
because it'll ruin college football because you'll have schools like Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame who have money and they will just pay to get the best players,
exactly, and like
which I think they already do. But like,
I mean, yeah, I think it needs to just stop with jerseys and
maybe do you agree with endorsement
Yeah,
deals?
I think endorsements. I think because I mean, college players don't get endorsed that much, and I think like if you're one of the few that are that good,
How
and
often
you can get
though?
an endorsement deal?
How often does a great college football player become a great NFL player? Honestly,
I mean, it takes a while. I mean, we're seeing it with QBs right now.
guys like Lamar
a lot of
Jackson.
these young QBs are taking over, but I don't know. I mean, I think if you're good enough, then you need to get paid for that, but not like salaries and stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
I would really hate to see that happen.
That'd be sad.
The
Alright.
MLB playoffs kick off tonight.
Yeah, they do. Who's
Wild card game. I think it's Brewers and Nationals tonight. So
who do you think is going to win the MLB playoffs this year?
I'm honestly gonna take the Dodgers to win the World Series. I think Dodgers Yankees is gonna be an exciting World Series.
I was going to take the Dodgers too this year. They're looking good.
I mean, they've just been one of the most solid teams all year. But
I'm upset the Cubs didn't make it though, to be honest.
yeah, same with the Red Sox. I mean, it's just both teams finish with good records, just not good enough to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But,
You see Joe Madden for the Cubs. He's retiring.
They said it was kind of a neutral thing. Like they were gonna fire him, and he was gonna step down anyway. So I think, I don't know though. I mean, I still think the Cubs are solid enough to come back next year and make a playoff run.
I hope so.
I don't know. I mean, we'll catch up more next week when we really see with how these playoffs are gonna shape up.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so that'll do it for sports mostly. Ethan, what's going on with prep this week?
We got a big game in Columbus, 7:00. We're looking to catch a big win there. So
Now, Ethan, I've been hearing what defines a team is how they bounce back from a big loss. Do you think if prep can come out here and show them that just because we lost one game against Westside, our biggest rival, that we're gonna just roll over and die?
no, I mean I definitely don't think. I think Westside's a really solid team, and I think Columbus isn't something that we can just expect to win that game because we can. I mean we're gonna have to fight hard, but
Oh yeah,
I definitely think a win right here would just boost morale and I think put us right back on track to where we were headed.
I gotta say we gotta keep the cage strong as well. I think we can't just after a loss we can't just give up on our team.
Yeah.
I gotta say we have to keep on. Students gotta keep on coming to these games.
Yeah, this Birdcage has been great, and I think that's been a big help to this team's success.
Oh yeah.
So I'd like to see it keep up, and roll Jays.
Yeah, go Jays. Thank you guys.